Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we are doing another Kaladesh Draft League. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content on this channel, like the videos. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Inez27. Oh yeah, let's do the preview pane. People like the preview pane. Okay, so we've got Aetherworks Marvel. Not really feeling it for limited. It's worth a couple tickets though. There's also Era of Innovation, which is probably better in limited. And then we have Voltaic Brawler, Prophetic Prism, Kujar Seed Sculptor. All these cards are good. I'm kind of okay with just taking a Prism, staying open, but Seed Sculptor is really good too. Let's take the Prism. I never get Prophetic Prism ever. I never play it, and I want to, and it keeps us completely open. So there's a Mastodon in here. We have a Malphus squad, impeccable timing. Sage. This is a really unexciting pack too. I mean, I could take the Elephant. Certainly a playable 5-drop, and you don't have to be in white. Could take the Sage. Does things with energy. Malphus squad is actually a good, solid black card. Impeccable timing is removal. All of this is so kind of underwhelming as a second pick, though. I mean, maybe just take removal. I guess. Does deal with things. All right. Take the timing. It was close with that in squad. Okay. What do we take third here? So we've got Thriving Rhino, which is definitely a great green card. We have Foundry Screecher, which is good in black. We have Fragmentize, which is good in white. Feels a little bit early to take it. And then we have Bomat Bizarre Barge, which I think is actually a pretty decent card. So I can take the Rhino. Rhino's pretty great. Screecher evades, though. I don't know if that makes it better. It's kind of a toss-up, actually. I don't know which of those cards I like better. For some reason, my heart said Rhino immediately, but Screecher flies, potentially smashing for 3 power flying, but it does have 1 toughness, so it can't really block. I'm going to go Rhino. I feel like the fact that it can keep growing is pretty awesome. Okay. So we have Captured by the Consulate, which I actually like. Another impeccable timing. Consul's Shield Guard. Shield Guard kind of pairs with the Rhino nicely. I guess Thriving Turtle does too. Ornamental Courage, good combat trick. Self-Assembler. You can play it in pretty much any deck. I wouldn't mind taking that. I might be okay taking a second timing too. I don't know how much I like the timing yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I feel like it's pretty good though. Yeah, I don't know how much I like the assembler either. Let's just try and go for a really low curve. I'm going to take the timing here. It's probably that or Shield Guard. Captured by the Consulate is good too. But they can still block, which I kind of have an issue with. All right, well, we have Revoke Privileges. I love Sky Skiff too, but I think I'm just going to take the Privileges. Let's take away some privilege. Another Malphus squad as well. Okay, so I can take the Puzzle Knot here. It's probably the most playable of these. I don't really like Engineered Might. I mean, I could take it. I don't really like it, though. It seems expensive. And Sorcery Speed only is not that good. Puzzle Knot gives you a little bit of card advantage. It's also an artifact. It's okay. It's also a Wayward Giant. We'll take the Puzzle Knot. That's all right. Okay. So we have a really late Sky Whale. I like that card a lot. And it goes good with our removal, actually. Impeccable Timing is, I would say, probably at its best in a blue-white Flyers deck, because while you're flying over top, they want to kill you on the ground, and then you can just kill all their stuff. So I'm kind of tempted to just take the Sky Whale. I think Operative is a good card, too. In white, we have Herald of the Fair and Acrobatic Maneuver, which are both playable, but not as good as the Sky Whale, I think. So I'm just going to take the 4-drop, 4-power Flyer. Maybe work my way towards a blue-white Flyer deck. All right, I can take the Ambition over Assistant. So Lawless Broker in here as well. I'll take the Ambition, though. Okay. So Wheeling Era of Innovation. Wasn't expecting that. It's also an Ibex, which is pretty good. Consulate Surveillance as well. I'll take the Era of Innovation. I think this card's actually really good. We don't have much of an energy plan at the moment, but we'll take it anyway. Okay. So, guess we can take the Sage. It pairs well with our Rhino in case one of our colors doesn't pan out. We also do have the Prism. Well, somebody splashed this against me and it panned out well for him, so maybe we'll try that. Out of sideboard, of course. I can take the Pressure Point. If I can make a blue-white Flyers thing come together, I think Pressure Point's pretty good in that deck, too. It's good for tempo. It's also a Lawless Broker, but we'll take the Pressure Point. All right, I guess I'll take a Puzzle Knot. Inspection. All right. So, kind of a weird pack one. I did first pick a Prophetic Prism because I never get to play it, but I'm still, I'm still experimenting with this format. I know, I'm sure plenty of people already know exactly what they want to do, but I'm still kind of in that discovery phase. Wow. Well, here's a choice. Trinketeer or Fairgrounds Warden, and they're both great. One's a removal spell, and one is kind of a late game, just really good card. I think I'm still going to go for the rare over the awesome removal, just because it makes armies. It seems to, I never seem to get to make an army. Whenever I play it, it always seems to be on turn 3 and then it dies immediately. But it does actually work with Era of Innovation too, which is kind of cool, since it's an Artificer. So I guess we'll first pick a Trinketeer, passing the Warden, which kind of sucks just because Warden's so good, but I'm still happy to get a Trinketeer. All right, well, Augment is really good. There's also Renegade Freighter in here, though, and I might just go for Freighter. Augmenter pairs well with Trinketeer because it gives you the... It's also an Artificer. This is actually tough. This is a tough pick. Augmenter is a very good card, but Freighter probably is still better. It's probably still better to just get as many of these as you can. There's also Aether Theorist, which is good. Peafowl, which is good. I'm going to go Freighter over Augmenter, just assuming that it is better. But maybe there's people that disagree, and especially in a deck that rewards us for Artificers and servos, but Freighter. Okay, so we have a Harrier here, which flies. Thriving Turtle, which is cheap. Kind of synergizes with our Era of Innovation. It's a Skygate as well. All around unexciting. I think we'll go Harrier. Try and get another flyer going. All right. So we can take the Theorist now. There's a Fragmentize and a Herald of the Fair and a Nimble Innovator. Probably take the Theorist. It's a good card. I need to make my card quality a little bit better. Still can block little tiny things. There's also Glimmer of Genius, though, man. This card is good. Glimmer of Genius is a good card. I might just take Theorist over it, though, because we only have 5 creatures. We're actually very creature light, and 2 of them are green. which may not even be worth splashing for. Yeah, we'll go Theorist. I can splash easier off the Prism. Okay, so we have Glint Nest Crane, Cogworker's Puzzle Knot, Fragmentize, and Herald of the Fair. If I take the Crane, I mean, right now we can only find a Puzzle Knot, which I'm probably not playing, and a Freighter and a Prism, which isn't great, but it also flies as a 2-drop creature. We need more creatures. So I'm going to take it over the Herald and the Fragmentize and the Puzzle Knot. Okay, so now we have Malfunction, Artisan. I like Malfunction a lot. We're doing okay on removal. I mean, you can always have more. But Artisan's actually a pretty good card. It's an Artificer, so it works with Air of Innovation. It makes a little 1/1 for your Trinketeer to buff up. There's an argument to taking Malfunction here, just because it's probably a little bit more premium, although not 100% on that. I just feel like I'm going to need some creatures, and I know for a fact Artisan is a pretty good one, so we'll take it. All right, Peafowl flies, so I probably just want to go there. Wow, a lot of red cards. Goggles in here as well. I mean, we do, like I said, have a couple, but I think we're going to go with the flyer here. And it also helps us, seeing as it's an artifact for our Air of Innovation and Crane. All right, I mean, I can take a turtle here. I'm certainly not opposed to playing turtles. I like turtles, as a matter of fact. Here's a Glassblower's Puzzle Knot, which is okay. But I think we'll take turtle. Okay, so I have Wingsmith, which kind of fits in with the flying theme, but we just really don't have a lot that kind of interacts with it right now, unfortunately. Kind of don't want to play this either. Could take the Eager Construct instead. It's a 2-drop. I probably just play Construct. I don't think it's great, but I want a relatively low curve, and like I said, it might not be too late to just make a Wingsmith work. I need more evasion. This is tough. I'll go with the Wingsmith. I'm going to hope that I can make it work. Well, immediately get rewarded with another Peafowl, which is good. So we'll take it over a late squad. I mean, we wouldn't play squad, but that is a late squad. Okay, so we can take Dromedary, but I guess we take Patrol since it can actually kill our opponent. It's also Refurbish, but we'll go Patrol. All right, Innovator. Puzzle Knot getting this late is really nice, actually. It's probably making the deck. All right, well, got ourselves a deck, which is good. So we're just out of pack 3. Basically, all we need is a couple flyers, and I would say we're pretty set on a Blue-White Flyers plan. Well, ask and ye shall receive. There's a pretty good one. Responder is very good, so we'll take that over Fabrication Module, which is a good card as well, and Mechanic, and that's about it, but Responder is very good, so we'll take it. Probably just don't want to play these cards at this point. So, looking for more flyers, Paradoxical Outcome. So, another Prophetic Prism, no need to splash for anything. Ballista Charger, another vehicle, a Malfunction. At this point, I can probably pretty comfortably take Malfunction and then have just a good removal suite, double Impeccable Timing, Privileges. Yeah, we'll take the Malfunction here. Meltdown's good removal as well. Another Artisan. Another Malfunction. I think I like the Meltdown more. Good 2-drop removal. We're just going to hope we can get a couple creatures on the wheel. I don't think it should be too terribly difficult, but we'll take Meltdown here. So another Puzzle Knot, an Eddy Trail Hawk. So Hawk interacts pretty nicely with any of our non-flyers, of which we don't have a ton, but we have enough where I'm still comfortable playing it. It's also just a 2-drop creature, which is good. And maybe we wheel another puzzle knot. There's also goggles, but I think we'll take the hawk. I actually just like the hawk. Some people don't really like it that much, but I think it's good. All right, impeccable timing number 3. I mean, I don't even know if the first Era of Innovation is necessarily going to make it. We're pretty low artifact. But impeccable timing number 3, okay. We'll see how deep we can go. Herald of the Fair, number 2, another Wingsmith. The first one's not even looking that good, or a Skygate. Maybe we just take the Skygate. It's an artifact. I can take Herald of the Fair because 3-drop, 3 power. I mean, 2-drop, 4 toughness walls are all good, but maybe we just want a couple more things that can kill our opponent. Okay, Aether Trade Winds, Construct. I can take Construct here pretty comfortably. I guess it gives us more Glint Nest Crane ammo. And Trade Winds is actually a pretty good card, but I feel like we're doing okay on removal at this point. And I don't think Prism is actually going to make the deck. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm kind of feeling like it's not going to happen. So I guess we'll take a Construct. Well, I can take the bounce now. Like I said, I probably don't need it. Like, I'd probably rather just play a pressure point most of the time over select, because I'd rather just draw a card than scry. Okay, Hermit. Take Goggles. Not super convinced we're going to play him, though. Rebuff. I'm not really interested in playing Automaton. I mean, I'm not interested in playing Rebuff either, I guess, but wow, it's a late squad. So, did we end up with enough flyers? We probably did. I don't think Hermit's going to make the deck, by the way. I mean, I could take the Wingsmith and get yet another potential flyer. I don't really need Puzzle Knot that bad. All right, we'll take the Wingsmith. It's also an Artificer for our goggles if we want to make those work. So we'll be able to figure this deck out, I think. And we have some card draw this time around too, which is nice. So we'll figure out where exactly we want to be. Look out. All right. So we have a lot of cuts to make. And a lot of spells. So obviously Freighter counts as like a half creature and it's going to make the deck. I probably don't need a Knightsbridge Patrol. We're going to cut a 4-drop, probably the Innovator. I like drawing cards, and it's an Artificer. But I think I'd rather... Can we even focus on the Wingsmiths? I mean, I could still play Prism in a pinch, but I probably don't want to play Prism. That doesn't leave us with very many artifacts, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, actually, 9's not bad. Let's just cut the Patrol. We'll opt for Construct for artifact synergies. I think Era of Innovation's just going to get out of the deck. Like, I do like it, but we don't have a ton of need for energy in this deck. It's basically just like Theorist and a Hawk, which isn't a lot. So I feel comfortable cutting it. We also have the ambition to draw cards a little bit more reliably, I would say. Although, how many Artificers do I have? That's a rogue. I always want to think this is an Artificer, but it is not. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe the goggles can't happen for that reason, which would only leave us with 7 artifacts, which isn't a lot. But we're trying to make room for... I mean, you don't need to have pure Artificers to make goggles good, but I don't know if I need goggles in this deck. Probably don't need the pressure point. Probably don't need to select for inspection. And at this point, maybe I just cut the goggles. That, like I said, that does lower our artifact count by quite a bit. But we still have 7, which is enough to do most things. So if I cut all this, how many more cuts do I have to make? I still have to make 3 more cuts if I want to run 17 lands. Our card draw is what? Tezzeret's Ambition, and that's about it. I'm tempted to cut the Prism since it's kind of pointless in here. And then I might even cut like one of our Wingsmiths because we just won't have a ton of synergies with it. So I can probably cut the Prism too. Maybe our curve's low enough where I can just get away with 16 lands. Like, this is a very low curve. Very, very low curve. Our mana sinks are essentially what? A Trinketeer and some P-Fouls, which aren't much of a mana sink anyway. Yeah, I might be okay with running 16 lands here. I don't know which card I'd want to cut. I could cut another creature because with the Puzzle Knot I still have like 15. Puzzle Knot also does work well with our Trinketeer. It's a good reason to keep it around. Like I could cut a Herald of the Fair and go to 17 lands. I really don't think this deck needs 17 lands. We have what? 7 of our 40 cards are 4 or 5 mana. And even with 16 lands, getting to 4 mana is not that hard. A little bit of color intensity, but not too bad. I'd probably still just do 8/8. Yeah, I think we'll go for 16 lands here. I don't think that's unreasonable. First pick the Prism, and I still don't get to play it. All I want to do is make that deck that splashes for the sweet uncommons, and I can't make it. So yeah, how many flyers did we end up with? What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 sometimes, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could have used some more flyers, but we'll see how these impeccable timings play for me. I'm hoping that they play well. And we have the privileges and the malfunction too. So at least our removal does look good. We have a little bit of card draw. We have some evasion. Freighter puts games away. So yeah, this deck looks fun. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.